Ayo and hello everybody, it's me, your weird Uncle Ian. In today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all what I ended up drawing last week on a show that I've been a part of called Roll for Hero, a segment of the show where we let the dice dictate what the heck we're going to be drawing for that moment in time. And let me tell you, I have had a blast and I am always excited for Wednesdays. And heck, if you guys want to check out how this show is even going to go down, make sure to tune in 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central in our live stream of Roll for Hero that I do with my very good friend Mr. Fish over at Mr. Fish Comics. So, I think y'all heard enough of me talking, yapping, and chatting about this first, part of the whole video. So how about I actually show y'all what I ended up drawing in my side of everything here, because I know how to English. Before we continue any further, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and do all the typical YouTuber things, so that way you guys can be up to date on all videos that I end up creating. And heck, if you want to join in on Roll for Hero, tossing out some suggestions, again, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern, don't miss out on the fun and the excitement, and who knows, maybe your ideas might influence the next series of drawings that we're going to be putting out there. So anyways, enough me yapping, now let's get showing. Kind of hero that we ended up rolling up was a steampunk powered kind of hero who is an alien with elemental control, telekinesis, and flight. Not only that, they're acrobatic, so imagine like a ballerina or Spider-Man or Daredevil or something along the lines of that. Not only that, they're a selfless kind of an alien hero of sorts, and they happen to have a weakness to a titular item. By the way, with this kind of suggestion here, what kind of concept would you guys have come up with? If so, let us know and use the hashtag #RollForHero. But anyways, outside of that, this is the list that we ended up rolling, and well, heck, it's about time that I more or less show y'all what I ended up designing. And we begin the designing process. So when designing this character, I decided to, at first I was going to go the more masculine route, but then at some point in time, I really wanted to switch it up on this, and I decided to go the more feminine route. Now, at first I was going to go the Kryptonian or the Viltrumite route and basically just make it a human that just happens to be an alien, but in this case, I decided to really switch up on this. At first I was going to go for a single-eye Cyclops kind of an alien, then I ditched the concept, and then all of a sudden the idea of a snail hit me because of an old, rumor or something that happened back then where supposedly snails were telepathic, hence the telekinesis aspect of it, but then I switched it over to being more bug-like. And not only that, this actually kind of ties into her powers of telekinesis being the main thing that allows her to fly, and also has the elemental control of lightning. So that was already kind of a unique aspect of this character. Not only that, but I want to maybe make it the fact that she was maybe an acrobat on her home planet. So when designing this character, I wanted to go full-blown alien, and I gave her, multiple arms. I wanted to go for a 4-armed alien girl kind of a situation here, and honestly, I really like the way that started coming about. But when it came down to designing her costume, I ended up making it look like that she was cosplaying being in a steampunk world of some kind, which honestly could really which could actually imply that she's not from this world. Maybe she's going in trying to disguise herself, but it's not really working. But other than that, I really ended up loving the design. It ended up becoming more like a cute alien girl cosplaying in the steampunk style, but I think this ended up fantastic in every way imaginable. So this was more or less the design of, well, Shelbyville. So we were shooting some ideas out there, and we're trying to figure out what is this character story. And at the time, I really didn't have a lot kind of going on in terms of, coming up with a story. But it took me a couple days later to really start to think about what is Shelbyville's story. And maybe the idea can go along the lines of maybe Shelbyville lives on a planet of alien conquerors, if you will. Maybe they go around to different planets. At first it's peaceful, and then eventually becomes war-torn, and it's been an unfortunate habit for every time her alien race encounters other, creatures that lie beyond the stars. So she decides that she's going to start going a bit ahead of these aliens and starts to formulate a plan to stop her people from invading other worlds. So she ends up going to a steam-powered Earth, if you will. So it's like Earth during the steampunk era, trying her best to fit in, again, with the outfit that she ends up wearing. But not only that, she does everything in her power to obviously, fight off her people. But in the process, she ends up being the first alien creature to implement electronic-based technology in this world, switching from steam power to eventually moving to electronic power, or if anything, a strange hybrid of both. Now utilizing steam and electricity, she is now going to find a way to prevent her alien people from conquering Earth by any means necessary. What do you guys think of the story for Shelbyville? Do you guys think I could have done something a little bit different with it? What would you guys have done if you were given this exact prompt? Again, roll for hero, hashtag show us what you would have drawn, or anything of that kind of caliber. I would love to see what y'all make. But other than that, this is Shelbyville, the steampunk electronic powered telekinetic alien who is simply being selfless and making sure a world gets to be free in every way possible. And there we go. We have our officialized cover for the character that I've drawn for Roll for Hero, Shelbyville. What do you guys think of this character? Let me know in the comments down below. What would you guys have done differently? If anything, if you want to show me what you guys would have done differently, make sure to utilize the hashtag Roll for Hero, so that way you guys can show me what you guys ended up drawing out. And heck, who knows? If you end up using that hashtag and putting it out there, we're going to take your art and we're going to put it on the live stream, so that way we can show the world what you ended up making. But other than that, though, putting this entire character together was a huge challenge, because for one, it has been a very long time for me since I've drawn anything steampunk related, and the fact that I actually got into creating this character overall was a ton of fun. And it really had to challenge my creativity, because again, I'm usually drawing a bunch of guys in tights or in armor of some kind, so having to draw an alien dressed up in steampunk was definitely something I wasn't really fully prepared to draw. But again, that's the point of Roll for Hero. The fact that we had to go off on the whims of what the dice had dictated for us really had to challenge our creativity in a very unique way, and I highly suggest you all kind of partake in joining us. And heck, if you want to join us on Roll for Hero, please make sure to tune in at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, so that way you guys can join in, chuck out some ideas, and that way we're just gonna have a fun time, crack some jokes, crack some awesome ideas, and just have a blast making art that, well, inspires all and hopefully inspires more. But other than that, this is my character Shelbyville, and well, I think I showed this character off enough, and I know I'm gonna keep yapping about it, so I think it's a really good time for me to end the video here. Well, to my fellow weirdos out there, make sure to follow these 3 simple rules. Make sure to stay awesome, stay weird, and keep life to the easiest. Always remember that art inspires all, but you can inspire more. And never forget, everybody, your uncle, he loves you, but always stay ultra.
Wednesday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central.